Hey guys, Hayes here. In this video, I'm going to explain and go through Tarkov's 0.13 patch, or what we think is 0.13 patch, which is the Streets of Tarkov patch, the first iteration, what to expect in the patch, some unconfirmed changes that we're not quite sure if they will be in the patch or not, but it's good to put them in here anyway. Hopefully this opens your eyes to what to expect. Just to remind you guys, I do stream on Twitch from about 10 AM GMT. We're doing a massive subathon for the wipe. I'll be a Streets of Tarkov main. You'll find me on there, enjoying the game and having a bit of fun. Anyway, onto the video. So Tarkov's patch 13 is going to be the Streets of Tarkov patch. At least that's what we are led to believe through the trailers and through what we've seen. When is it? We don't know. Probably any time between the 19th of December up until the 30th of December. So from, I think, this Monday, the 19th, up until sort of Friday, the 30th. So what to expect in this patch? There's a whole list of things. Again, these aren't exhaustive. They're not the only things to expect. There will be many other things that will come from the patch. Take this as like the minimum of things you can expect, and then anything else is just extra, because there will be extra. There'll be optimizations, there'll be secret things that they don't want to tell us about, which is great. I really enjoy those. First one, Streets of Tarkov. Yes, that's right. The first iteration of Streets is here. It is the same size as any of the map. For now, obviously, it will change in the future. Streets will be larger and have more parts added to it in the future. And it's planned to have at least around about 40 PMCs in the sort of the end game of Streets. So what I expect is the first iteration of Streets will just be for testing to see if it works okay, you know, in the wild. Obviously, they've done their internal testing, but apart from that, there's no testing out with players and, you know, on the live game. So they'll make sure it's okay. Once everything seems to look good and they've got the data they need and confirming that it's fine and it works as intended, then they can carry on and add loads more features and add more iterations of the map and expand on it from there. For now, Streets will be the same size as any other real map. So like customs, interchange, reserve, whatever. I think it's supposed to have some sort of underground system. I'm not quite sure if that's in there yet. Nikita has said that there are a lot more features in Streets that you won't have ever seen before in other maps in the game. It's not confirmed as to what these are. Obviously, they love to keep things a secret, and it'll be for us to find out. There are some features like the destructible walls and the BTR taxi that won't actually be in this patch. He has confirmed that they won't be here. They will be in later iterations of Streets. But as we know, this will be a very bare bones release of Streets. So similar to every other map where there's not a lot of features. It's just the map. You know, you got the scavs, you got the quests, all that stuff. There'll be a few sort of interesting little bits here and there that are quite cool. But obviously, once Streets is in the game, we should see an increase in the speed at which patches come out, or which the iterations come out of Streets, and an increase in speed of the future releases for different features around the game that has been planned for ages. Streets is kind of a bottleneck for all the stuff that they plan. Like it all requires the maps to be interconnected, so you can kind of move from Streets, which is the map you start on. You move from Streets over to say customs or interchange or whatever, and then move on from there. So once that's in, they can then expand on that and just get going, like push all these things out, because I know they want to get, you know, Tarkov done. They want to get Tarkov out, released in patch 1. So I can imagine that this whole past year has been them just putting their heads down, focusing on the task at hand, which is Streets, to get that out, because then that'll allow them to push everything else out. Next thing on the list is the Lightkeeper trader. Now, this is unconfirmed whether he'll be in the patch or not. It does make sense, since what I'll get on into a second is the new boss, the Lighthouse boss, Zyrachyi, which is the person that's supposed to be protecting Lightkeeper the trader. He will be the first in-raid trader. You have to bring items into the raid to actually trade with him, which will be interesting to sort of see how that works out. But he's not easy to get to, since Zyrachyi will be guarding the way towards the Lighthouse. It is said that Lightkeeper actually trades in military tech for explosive items. So, for example, claymores, grenade launchers, and other various explosive items that he might, you know, that they might add in the future, like RPGs is said to be a thing. So potentially that could be what he'll require to then give you explosives. And yes, I did mention claymores. There is going to be some remote detonation claymores, not just kind of tripwire claymores, remote detonation, kind of like C4, but in a direction. They have been teased, and I'm pretty sure that this, in the Zyrachyi kind of trailer that they released, is a claymore on the bridge. I'm not sure who detonates it, but it seems like an explosion on the bridge. And there is no mines on there. There's nothing to say that there would be mines there. So that's got to be some sort of claymore, you'd think anyway. Now, going back to the new boss, Zyrachyi, he will be guarding the Lightkeeper, as we've said, on the path to Lighthouse. And as you've seen from the trailers now, we're pretty sure he's using the AXMC bolt-action 338 lupo rifle already in the game. It's already a thing, and it seems to have the Reap IR thermal on there. Now, not confirmed if it's 100% spawn that he'll have that all the time. For example, Gluhar, Rashala, they don't have all like the same guns all the time. And if he's even 100% spawn all the time. Obviously, we know other bosses don't have 100% spawn rate, but you'd think that he would, considering he's always protecting a trader that should always be there. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, next on the list is the Hideout expansion. Now, the only modules we've confirmed are the gym in the Hideout. Now, we're not sure if this is going to be like a passive increase in skills. So strength and endurance might passively increase more. Not quite sure. Or it could be where you actually get on and start pumping iron and start riding on a treadmill. I don't know. We're not sure. It's been rumored to have new recipes in the Hideout as well for different ththings. Again, no details on that, but new recipes coming. Also, Nikita mentioned, I'm pretty sure in a recent podcast, about blueprints being a thing where you have to actually get find blueprints in raid or from quests maybe to be able to unlock certain crafts. Now, these crafts could be high-level crafts like maybe M61 rounds for 760x51, just high-level crafts that are usually end-game crafts. So potentially that could be a thing in this patch. I'm not entirely sure, but that is something you could expect. Now, moving on to the potential changes of skills. Obviously, coming from the gym, you'll see probably a change in how strength and endurance is leveled. You'll also maybe see a few changes to other skills, additional skills being put in. As we know, when we go through the skill list, there's a load of skills that aren't used, that aren't even in the game yet. So maybe we could have some of those in this patch. Again, no details exactly on that. They love to hide the details until the actual patch day or until we find out. Now, new guns. Yes, new guns. As always, usually with these big patches, there's a lot more guns involved. There's only a few that I have noted down. I'm not sure if I've forgotten any. Again, let me know in the comments if you think there's more guns that I've missed out. But the first one we have is the Stayer AUG, or AUG, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't seem to be very moddable, unfortunately. So hopefully in the future we can obviously get some more modifications for it. But for the moment, it doesn't seem to be very moddable. You can change the scope. You can put on a rail system and change the scope. You can also get a 42-round mag, as we've seen from this screenshot from Nikita here. So next up in terms of guns or weapons is the underbarrel grenade launchers. Yes. Fun for some anyway. Yeah, so we got some for the AK platform and also for the NATO platform, like M4s, 5.56 kind of things. Yeah, the GP25 for the AKs is coming in, and the M203 for the NATO platforms. There is potential for smoke grenades and also shotgun rounds, but it's not confirmed. We're not quite sure, but there are options in real life where you can use smoke grenades or shotgun rounds for the underbarrels. So that could be interesting to use. Next one is the SR2 Veresk submachine gun. This fires 9x21 millimeter rounds, same as the SR1MP, the shrimp as people call it, which is the pistol, the machine pistol. So this will be similar to like a MP9 or something where there's a high fire rate, but I think this ammunition, the 9x21 millimeter, is a lot more powerful. So we'll see how that works. It could be a really, really good gun to run. So another addition potentially could be the Unity 2020 update. It's unconfirmed, not quite confirmed if that's going to be in the patch, but it has been tested for quite some time on the test servers, from what I've been told. Apparently, there's been some good results with quite a few higher frames involved. So hopefully, more FPS for everyone, really. That should be good. Speaking of more frames, AMD FSR 2.1 should be coming in this patch. Again, unconfirmed. A lot of these changes are unconfirmed until we see the patch notes. I've gone through what they've teased, and I've noted down a lot of different things, and AMD FSR 2.1 was something they teased this year. So it should have better resolution upscaling with minimal ghosting, and obviously gets rid of the blurriness a bit more with still increased FPS. If you have an AMD graphics card, this should work for you. DLSS, no confirmed changes there. I'm not sure what they're doing with that. Now, the last and final thing, some would say the best thing, tasks. Yes, they are adding more tasks for Streets of Tarkov. Obviously, Streets of Tarkov will be the main kind of map where you start on anyway. Going into the sort of the final kind of version of Tarkov, they want Streets of Tarkov to be where you start. And then you move on to different maps and travel through the world of Tarkov. So tasks on streets will be a thing. Potential Lightkeeper tasks as well for reputation gain, depending on how he works. We have no confirmation on how he works entirely. So or if he's even in the patch. There's no confirmation of that. It would make sense. Why would you add Zyrachyi and the boss that protects Lightkeeper when he's not even there? I don't get it. Lightkeeper tasks will be there once Lightkeeper's in, which is cool. So if he is in, then you will have tasks. Changing the order of tasks, helping the monotony of the sort of the same tasks over and over and over again. We all know some people get bored. I get bored sometimes of the same tasks in the same order over and over and over again every single time, and it might be different now. We'll see. Right, so that's basically all of what you can expect from the patch 13, or what we think is patch 13 from Streets of Tarkov. Hopefully you guys find this useful to kind of understand what's coming, so you can prepare, or at least, you know, get excited. You know, it's nice to be excited about these things. This, I think, honestly, is going to be the patch that gets things started again, right? Because obviously, as I said, Streets of Tarkov is a bottleneck for BSG to add more things. Once they get that out, here we go. This is it, you know? So I'm excited for that. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you have and you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do, and like the video as well for more in the future.